me that y'all are understanding the material. So we'll go over that one question, and then we'll go over the test, and I'll assign the test and the homework grade. I meant the homework dates. The question we got is 3.59/5. Okay, now the question is asking for the 5-number summary, but we're going to go ahead and do everything. And that's what I do on all my questions. So that way you'll see how we do everything. I'm going to do it on the Excel spreadsheet. I don't really care about what the directions are asking for. So I'm going to open this in the Excel spreadsheet. This is where the Excel spreadsheet really pays for itself, because y'all can all see the Excel spreadsheet on the screen. So it really helps to have the Excel spreadsheet via virtual learning. Let me make it a little bit bigger for you. And let's also do the grids so you can see the grids. There we go. And I'm going to put in a couple of insert columns or whatever. No, I'm just going to do it here. Insert, there we go. So let's go ahead and put these in order. Please tell me if you have a question, or if you can't hear. Hopefully you can hear. Okay. Nobody's saying anything. So, all right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So n is equal to 15. So that's odd. So I'm going to put odd out here. So that means that the mean is going to be number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll just highlight that just for later. Okay. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to put quite a bit on here. Mean, median, mode, range, mid-range, variance, and standard deviation. Now please tell me, I need y'all to tell me this. I think we've covered everything in here. The last thing we covered, I need somebody to tell me, the last thing we covered, I think, was z-scores and 5-number summary.
I think that's right, yeah.
Okay, so technically we've covered everything, all right? There's only one thing that I think we haven't covered, and I'm going to show you that after we go over this question. It's called the interquartile range, and you never use that, but I'm going to show it to you because you might have a homework question about it. All right, so we know that the median, we know that that is that middle number right there. So we'll go ahead and just fill that in right there. And the mean, we're going to sum all these numbers up and divide by 15. And that should be, notice again, I'm carrying it out to several digits, and that you need to do that. So, you can at least go to the 100th, because usually most of your homework questions or test questions will round the final answer round to the 100th or the 10th. Most of them. Every once in a while, you'll get one that says 3 decimal places. Mode, I really don't care about, but let's see. In somebody's eyes, looks like we got a couple, let's say 42, 43, 47, and 55. Look like we got 4. Is there any that show up 3 times? Because there's twice. That's twice. That's twice. And that's twice. I don't see any that shows up 3 times. So I done forgot. 42, 43, 42, 43, 47, and 55. Please check and see if there's anything that shows up more than twice. Range. Range is equal to the highest minus the lowest. Mid-range is equal to the highest plus the lowest divided by 2. Variance, well, remember this is X. And remember the formula. I tell y'all to read that formula. I'm going to try something here. I don't know if I'll be able to do it or not. Let me, I'm going to turn on my handy dandy. Take me a second to get it pulled up, but I think I'll be able to do it. Let me pull this up right here. There we go. I'm going to try to write with the mouse, so just bear with me. Now remember the formula. Give me a second. Black. I'm going to try this. The formula for the variance is equal to the summation of X minus X bar quantity squared divided by N minus 1. Now I showed y'all that formula 2 or 3 days ago, which was probably last Tuesday, maybe. I can't remember. But I showed you that formula and I said we need to read the formula because I don't want you to kind of, cop out on me and say, oh, I don't understand how to fit variance. No, you got to read the formula. Okay? You got to take the average from each X. So let me hit my handy dandy, get my cursor back. And there we go. So X, that first column is going to be called X minus X bar. Just like it says. Well, something happened to my, what happened to my formula? There it is. X minus X bar. And if you can't say, well, I don't know what to do first, Hubert. Well, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. You always do what's inside the parentheses first. X minus X bar. So there it is. Because I get so many students, and I'm not saying anybody in here, I'm just saying I get so many students, they'll just go to this first and they'll go variance. And they won't even pull out the formula. They won't even, they'll just say, Hubert, how do you get to variance? And that's not the way you learn. You read the formula. So equals 41 minus the mean, and that mean is not correct. Hold on a second. That mean can't be correct. So appreciate y'all pointing that out. Y'all should have pointed that out. Thank you. Y'all still asleep. Divided by 15. There, that's a little bit better. Appreciate y'all bringing that out. Thank you. Minus, there we go, F4. Oh, I have to remember how to do it on this computer. Hold on just a second. Function F4. There we go. And copy that down. Okay, read the formula. What do we do with X minus X bar after we do the inside of the parentheses? What do we do? Please excuse. You got to square it. Excuse. Exponent. So this one's going to be called X minus X bar quantity squared. So I'm going to square each one of these terms. And I'm going to bring that out a little bit. There we go. Make that a little bit smaller. There. So equals this raised to the second power. And copy that down. And then the formula says, after I square it, what do I do to all those that I squared? I add them up. That's what the funky E looks like, the sigma. So I'm going to add all of these up. I didn't call those gray. What? There we go. And summation and enter. And that right there is your numerator for your variance. I usually color it some kind of purple, lavender. No, it's not really lavender. It's more like a mauve. There we go. So that is the numerator. So I'll take my handy dandy formula now, and I'm going to take my highlighter. Give me a second here. See if I can do this. Where is translucent? Translucent, and make it a little bit bigger. A lot bigger. Things I do for y'all. There we go. Oops, sorry. So that numerator right here is 1070.93. And I'm going to divide that by n minus 1. And I'm not going to do n minus 1. I'm just going to say divided by 14. Because most of you should be able to take 15 minus 1. And that is the variance, which I really don't care about. Standard deviation is what I care about. So S is equal to, standard deviation is equal to this number raised to the second power. So this number raised to the 0.5 power, or 1/2 power, or take the square root of it. And there are your important numbers. Your first important number is your mean. Second important number is your median. Third important number is your mid-range, which is also your middle of your number line. And the standard deviation, it's important, but it doesn't measure center. So I'll give you a more fluorescent green for that one. Okay, now you can go down here and you can do your curve. Equals the mean, that goes in the middle. No, not that color, sorry. Regular green. Okay, and then on the right, what do we do? Add or subtract? We add this plus the standard deviation. F4, function F4. And copy that 3 places to the right. And on the left, we subtract standard deviation, F4. For those that know how to use Excel, the F4 locks that number so you don't copy the other numbers below it. There we go. And there, turn on our handy dandy whiteboard. I'm going to try to draw a line here. Hold on a second. Where's my tools? Hold on a second. I got to find my tools. There we go. on a straight line. There's my straight line. Now I'm going to try to do this. Don't laugh at me. It's a little bit off, but it's better than nothing. Oh, sorry. I don't think I can move it. I won't try to move it. No, it's not going to let me move it. Oh, well, I tried. And I'm going to use my straight lines again. So don't laugh at me. The 50 is supposed to be the highest. The curve is supposed to be in the middle right here. I messed up. So it really bothers me, but I really don't have, you get the point. Now I'm going to take my green highlighter and I'm going to highlight. I hope I can get a more fluorescent green. Well, that's as good as it's going to get. And that's 95% falls within 2 standard deviations. And that's called normal. Okay. And let's take the red. That's your outliers at 0.15%. And then we'll just use that aqua color that we've been using for the unusual. That's your empirical rule. And of course, you know the percentages. You should know them by heart by now. 34, 34, 13.5, 13.5, then 2.35, 0.15, 2.35, 0.15. Now let's do the 5-number summary. The 5-number summary, pretty simple. 5-number summary. And I'm just going to put it right here. Consists of the men. And I think we went over this last Thursday. I'm pretty sure we did. Men, first quartile, second quartile, third quartile, and the max. Now, what 3 should you not get wrong? Tell me which 3 you should not get wrong.
Your min, max, and median.
Okay, the median is also your second quartile. Let me show you why, and I think I showed y'all this Thursday. Go back to the curve. You're supposed to read the curve like a fuel gauge. Okay, this is empty, which means 0%. This is a quarter, which means your first quartile. This is a half, which means at the median right there, that's a half. And then this would be what? 3/4, which is your third quartile or your 75th percentile. And this is full. So you're trying to find the number that represents the quarter of the population, half the population, 3/4. This is called your first quartile. So you need to write that down. In fact, I need, oops, sorry. I'll give y'all a second to write that. The first quartile, it's also called the 25th percentile. They're both the same thing. Okay. Now, the reason you need to know that is because on standardized tests, they may call the first quartile the 25th percentile. So I'm going to call this the first quartile. And I need to make that a little bit wider. And put an equal sign. And out here, put 25th percentile. I'm just giving you all kinds of information. Second quartile. Is also called the 50th percentile or the median. And the third quartile just give me a second, and I'm not a very good typist. 75th percentile. So the mean is pretty simple. We're gonna color it gray. And that's that number right there. So if you get the min and the max wrong, don't tell anybody. Max, we'll color it. I don't know, let's color it. No, not gray. Let's color it that nasty looking orange. Looks like some kind of powder you mix with water and drink. Tang, there we go. Okay, and of course we don't have to color this one because it's already yellow. And that's equal to the median. Okay, now we just got to find the quartiles. Well, here's your number right here. Now, I think the example that I gave y'all, I think n was even, so we had to use the blue dot, and you counted the number above the blue dot. Somebody look in your notes and make sure we did that. I believe we did. In this case, you don't have a blue dot because 47 is the middle number. So you just count the number above. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you just find that number right there. 3 above, 3 below. That number right there. And that is going to be our, we'll color that some kind of light green. And that's equal to that number. And if you notice, there's 3 numbers below it and 3 numbers, what? Above it. You can't use 47 because you got to count the number above 47, just like the blue dot. You can't use the numbers, you got to use the blue dot. In this case, the blue dot is with that number. So you just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is odd, so you pick the middle number. Same thing down here. You're going to pick that number right there, and that's going to be your third quartile. And we'll use that aqua color. Okay, now you've got stuff for your box plot. Now your box plot is going to be made up of a number line, and on that number line, you got to have a min, a max, and a mid-range. Now you all know the min is 41. The max is 69, and the mid-range Let me cover this up. Mid-range is what, 55? Somebody verify it's just 55, not the decimal, because I can't see it. I don't feel like moving stuff around. Okay, now we need to graduate our number line. Take half of half of half. So 41 plus 55 is 96. Half of 96 is 48. Oh, not 48, is it? Is it 48? Yeah. Okay, 55 plus 69 is 124. 62. Somebody check my math there. And you can find the half of half right there, right there, right there, and right there. Well, 41 to 48 is 7. Half of 7 is 3.5, which would be 44. I don't care about the decimals because we're not designing parts for the space shuttle. We're just graduating a number line. So 48 to 55 is, I have no idea, what is it, 7? Half of 7 is 3, that'd be a 51. And this is 7, half of 3 would be 58. And then half of 3, or half of 7 is 3, it'd be 65. Okay, now we have just graduated our number line. Now you're ready for the box plot. Well, the box plot is these 3 numbers right here. So I'm going to take my green marker and I'm going to draw a mark at 43. And I'm going to take my aqua, and that's going to be 55. And then my middle number is yellow. It's going to be 47. And there's my box for my box plot. Don't make fun of my drawing, please. There. So you can see that the actual way that your numbers lie is a little bit skewed what? Skewed right, because your median is way to the left of center, because that's your mid-range. So you may have, 95% of your numbers being between being between 33 and 59. Okay, but the way that your numbers actually lay is skewed right, which means most of them are on the low end. And that's how you do the 5-number summary. I'm going to give y'all a second to write all that down if you're catching up. And I'm going to show you how to do it on the calculator, which I showed y'all Thursday, I think. The reason I keep saying I think is because I have 2 120s. And sometimes you have to tell me if I did something or didn't do something when I think I have. So if I say I think I showed you on the calculator, somebody needs to either say yes, or somebody either needs to say no, you didn't. But I think I did. You can just raise your hand or say yes if I did or didn't. Just let me know.
I think you did.
Okay, I think we did. Because I think the 120-24 class is right behind y'all, and I need to go over something like this today because I think I went over it with them Friday. Okay. So we need to do this on a handy dandy calculator. Let me move my whiteboard do-jigger. And I'm fixing to hit the arrow, so it's going to disappear. No, it's not. Okay. Well, that's not going to make much sense there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my handy dandy calculator. And we're going to move that over here. And I'm going to pull up the Excel spreadsheet and the calculator. I'm going to copy my numbers since they're in order on the Excel spreadsheet. All right, here we go. Those of you that got your calculators out. Okay, bad network. It shouldn't be a bad network. I'm getting a message that says my network is bad. I just upgraded. It better not say I'm bad. Okay. Does everybody hear me okay in the presentation okay? Everybody?
Yes.
Miss Cameron, are you the one that talks in class? When I asked you a question, you're the one that usually talks?
Yes.
I thought so. All right. So here we go. I'm going to hit Stat and Edit. Remember, Stat and Edit is your spreadsheet in your calculator. So I'm going to delete. I'm going to clear. Delete. I don't want to hit. Okay, if I hit the wrong button here, let's clear. Enter. That's how you clear it. You go to the L2 and you hit clear and then you hit enter. Don't hit delete because that will delete the whole row. And then you'll have L3 up there. And for somebody like me, it's OCD, that will bother you. So don't do that. Hit clear. All right, here we go. We're going to add our numbers. 41, 42. And with a mouse, it's a whole lot more complicated. 43, 43, 45, 46, 47, 47, 52, 55, 55, 61, 63, and 69. And it won't let me. 69. There we go. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's right, 15. Okay, now don't forget, you got to hit the display. So those of you that wasn't here Thursday, you need to hit second, 0, and this is just a one-time thing. It should be. I don't know. Some of y'all tell me. I don't know. Check it, and you can find out. Go to Diagnostic, On, and it should be on if you changed it last week. Should still be on. But I go through and check it. There we go. And now hit clear. And now you're ready to do your stat, calculate, first variable stat. And it's already defaulted to L1, which that's what you put your stuff in, and hit calculate. And we're going to move this over here a little bit. Let's look at our numbers. 50.0667. Look at there. Okay, SX. Our standard deviation is 8746. SX 8746. Now I would tell you to remember a word that starts with S and ends in X, but somebody might get offended, so I'm just going to say SX. Okay? And then scroll down, and there is your 5-number summary. Ain't that neat? Let's check our 5-number summary. 41, 41, 43, 43, 47, 47, 55, 55, 69, 69. Well, what about the box plot, Hubert? Well, I showed you how to do that last week also, but we'll go ahead and do it again. Hit second, stat plot, make sure that you turn it on. Here is the box plot. The second one is the box plot. Right there. The two box plots look alike, but this one don't have the mean in the box. This one does. Sorry, median. And hit graph. Oh, wait a minute. You got to take the L2 out. Sorry. Hit quit. Second stat plot on. When you got to hit enter. When you put the stat plot right here, you got to hit enter. And it takes the L2 out there. You got to hit enter and then hit graph. Now you may not see it. See, it's not coming up. So you're supposed to throw a temper tantrum and throw your calculator on the floor and kick it. Or you can hit stat and go down to, or zoom and go down to stat, and it'll put it in the quadrant or where you need it. Look at there. So if we compare it to ours, if it will let us. Okay, everything's moved now. Sorry. I have to move everything over. There. Now pull up. Okay, ours was on the left side of 55. And let's check it. Hit trace. And there's 55 right there. And we're right to the left of it. Yep, that looks good. Looks kind of like the one I got. And that's how you do everything. The only thing that I haven't included on this problem is the z-score, which it doesn't ask for a z-score, but that's everything. That's 3.1, 3.2, and 3.5, I think. I don't know where z-scores are. I can't remember. That's it. That's if you can do this problem, if you can do everything that I did on here, then you can do chapter 3 except for z-scores. Okay. Now let me show you what I haven't covered, and it's not really that important, but you might see it on the test, or I mean, you might see it on the test. I doubt it, but you will see it on a standardized test, and that is interquartile range. And I'm just going to go to the book and show you where it is, because it's easier just to show you. So main menu, e-text, and come on, you can do it. You can do it. Breakfast of Champions. There we go. Let's go to, I don't know where interquartile range is. I think it's 3.5, maybe. Why is it? Oh, dork. I think it's 3.4. It may not be. I may be totally wrong. Yeah. So let's move. And like I say, it's usually not done very much. Where is the formulas? There it is. Interquartile range, write that down. The interquartile range is your third quartile minus your first quartile, or your 75th percentile minus your 25 percentile, or your 3/4 of a tank minus 1/4 of a tank. So there's the formula right there. Now there should be one more formula. That's the interquartile range, because you need that in the next formula. Where is it? There. So write that down. The lower fence or the lower parameter is the first quartile, which is your quarter of a tank, minus 1.5 times the interquartile range. This basically tells you, without using the empirical rule, where the outliers are. That's what this does. So if you want to write a note beside this, this is how you check for outliers without the empirical rule. So I'm going to take my handy dandy marker and I'm going to write down these two formulas. And we're going to do it with what we just did. And we're going to see what we come out with. So if you go back to the original formula, interquartile range, there it is. It's really not that difficult. The interquartile range is equal to the third quartile minus the first quartile. And then if we want to find our lower parameter, that's going to be the first quartile minus 1.5 times the interquartile range. And the upper is going to be the third quartile plus 1.5 interquartile range. So I'm going to go to my handy dandy spreadsheet and we're going to do that. Let's see where I got room. I don't have very much room, so I'm going to erase the formula down here if I can find my eraser. And I'm going to put, so we don't have, let's say we don't have the empirical rule. We don't know it, but you should know it. But we're going to do it down here. We're going to find the outliers down here. So my interquartile range is going to be equal to my third quartile minus my first quartile. Okay, and then my lower is going to be equal to my first quartile minus parentheses 1.5 times, I'm going to say, interquartile range. Close parentheses, enter. And then my upper is going to be equal to my third quartile, which is my 55, plus parentheses 1.5 times my interquartile range. So 73 by the interquartile range configuration, anything after 73 is a what? Is an outlier, and anything below 25 is a what? An outlier. By the empirical rule, anything below 23 is an outlier. Let me put my handy dandy. There we go. And anything above 76 is an outlier. I think I must have moved this over the wrong way or something. I'm not going to worry about it right now. But anyway, so you can find your, depending on the question, it may ask you for the interquartile range, or it may ask you for an outlier with the empirical rule. So now you know how to do both. So we're talking about 25 versus 24 and 73 versus 76. So you see they're not far off from each other. Now, I'm going to show you one other thing that you can use, and you may not be able to use it as fluently, and that is the handy dandy Statcrunch. Okay, and hit that, and it puts the numbers in there. It's supposed to. I don't know why it didn't. I guess you have to type them in yourself. Hold on a second. It's not supposed to do that. Move. Open in Statcrunch. There. There's your numbers. So first of all, you got to put them in order. So I'm not very up on. So data, and I guess you would arrange. No, I really don't know how to use stat. I thought you'd put them in order. Huh. Hold on just a second. Let me see if I can find it. Orderings? No. Should be under data. I would think it would be under arrange, but sequence. Okay, I don't know how to do it. Okay, but if you want to go to stat and go to I think under proportion stats, one sample, I think it would. It's supposed to do it, but I don't understand why I can't. I don't understand why I can't. Does anybody know how to put it in order on Statcrunch?
Nope.
Well, I suck. I used to be able to, but now I can't. They must have changed it. You probably could go into help, but I'm not going to do that. Stat, summary stats, it should be right there. Variable 1, click on that and hit compute. There we go. $50.667, and there's your 5-number summary. If you want to do a box plot, go to graph, box plot, variable 1, and hit compute. Now, of course, it does it vertically. I guess you could change that to horizontal. I don't know, but it does it totally different. Let's see if I can change that. Graph, box plot. Draw boxes horizontally, maybe. No, it's not going to like that. I don't know why it wants to do it vertically. It's them Russians. That's what it is. But anyway, if you want to use Statcrunch, you can use it there. All right, so let's do another one, because I know some of y'all hadn't finished your homework yet, and I know you're not ready for me to go into another. I know you're not ready for the test, so well, you're lucky I keep up with y'all. Some of y'all slackers are not doing your homework. Okay, here's one. Okay, Miss Wright. Let's see if Miss Wright is in the classroom. Yeah, she sent, oh, it's Mr. Wright. Is it Mr. Wright? I'm sorry. Mr. Wright. I got a white and a right. Sorry. Okay. Mr. Wright has sent a question, 3.2, number 9. So he kind of filled in the gaps. Thank you, Mr. Wright. That sounded weird. Oh, God. This is that question. Didn't we do this question Thursday? Somebody help me out. Remember the 50? I thought we did this question. Hello? Miss Cameron, did we do this? I might have done it in the 12024. I can't remember.
I don't think we did when we did any numbers.
Okay, well, okay, this is a good homework question, but I would not give you this on a test. I want you to realize that because it takes too long. But I'm going to go ahead and do it for you, and we're going to do it on the Excel spreadsheet. Now, you're not going to see all the numbers. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to write those numbers down in your notebook so you can go ahead, and I'm going to give you 5 minutes. I'm going to pause the video. Oh, I can't pause it. I don't know why they won't let us pause the video. Yeah, they won't let me. Skype, you could pause the video, but you can't pause the video on this. Oh, well. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes, and I want you, this is what I want you to do. Forget the directions. I don't care what the directions ask for. I want you to give me everything you can give me on this problem. Clock and start. I want you to write all the numbers down. I want you to put them in order. So if you need to put them in your calculator, I'll show you how to put them in order on your calculator if you don't know how. But go ahead and get them in your calculator or write it down in your notes. Excuse me. I don't have my mask on. Those of you that do have a calculator and you put it in your calculator, the way that you put things in order on your calculator, well, as soon as you get rid of everything, you hit stat, sort in ascending order. That means from lowest to highest. And then it's going to ask you, you type second L1 because you're in L1, and then hit enter. And then go back to look at the edit, and it should be in order. I'll get this off the screen so keep y'all can keep. Now, of course, you could use your calculator to find everything, and I realize that, but I'm going to show you how to do it by hand, with the Excel spreadsheet. I would not suggest doing it by hand because that's a lot of work. And on a test, there's no reason to have that many numbers on a test. I don't care if it's standardized or what. This is a good homework problem, but it's not a test problem. Okay, about a minute left. I'm going to go ahead and copy this over to the Excel spreadsheet and put it in order so I won't have to do that. Okay, that's 5 minutes. Now, let's go to the Excel spreadsheet. And I've got to find, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger for you, but you're still not going to be able to see all the numbers. So I'm just going to make it bigger where you can see them. There we go. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to put mean, median, mode, range, mid-range, variance, and standard deviation. And of course, everything is based on the mean, so we need to go ahead and get the mean. And that's going to be equal to this whole first column divided by 50. And there's your mean. Median, well, n is 50. So we need to count 24 down because that's 48. 24 down, and the two numbers that are after 24 is going to be your two numbers. So 1, and I'm just going to go down to 24. There. And then these two numbers right here, 25 and 26, are going to be our median. I'm going to add them together and divide by 2. So I'm going to take the first one plus the second one and divide by 2. Now I do realize that it's going to be 0.84, but they're not always going to be the same number. Now remember our blue dot, when we get our 5-number summary, that 0.84 right there, I'm going to take my handy dandy, let me clear this. I'm going to take my handy dandy pen and I'm going to color it blue, and I'm going to make a big dot right there. And that blue dot, we're going to put that down here, and we'll do it in a minute when we do the 5-number summary. That blue dot is not the 2.84s. That blue dot is between the 2.84s. It's between them. And that's how you count for your 5-number summary. Okay? Did we pick up somebody? I believe we did. Somebody just came in. I don't know who, but somebody did. Anyway, glad you could join us. So here we go. Let's go find our, Okay, these are decimals, and I'm going to let you find the mode. I'm not going to worry about the mode. I'm going to show you how to do the math. So let's do the math. Okay, the range is going to be equal to the highest minus the lowest. And the mid-range is going to be equal to the highest plus the lowest, or the lowest plus the highest, divided by 2. Okay, so that's our mid-range. Now, I'm not going to go back to the formula, but the formula says x minus x bar, so I'm going to subtract x bar from each one of these and function F4, and I'm going to copy that down. And then I'm going to square it. Equals that number raised to the second power. And copy that down. And then, of course, add them all up. And that's going to be the numerator for my, I'll color that purple. That's a little bit too much. There. Okay, and that's going to be our numerator for our variance. So that's going to be equal to that number divided by 49. And then, of course, the square root of the variance is the standard deviation, or raise it to the 0.5 power. And that is your answer. I mean, your answers. Now let's go down here and do the curve. So equals the mean. And I'm going to add the standard deviation equals the mean plus the standard deviation. Section F4. Copy that, 3 to the right, 2 more to the right. And then I'm going to subtract the mean, the standard deviation from the mean, and go 2 places to the left. And there is your normal curve. So I'm going to try this again just for your benefit. I'm going to take my handy dandy line maker and I'm going to draw a line. Try to do it a little bit better this time. Maybe these guys will help me draw the curve better. All the things I do for my students. There we go. Don't you dare make fun of my crooked lines. Okay, now try to draw a curve with a mouse. My mouse is not cooperating. I'm going to do that again. Do I have an undo on this thing? I don't think I do. Yeah, I do. I'll try that one more time and move my paper so I can draw better. Okay, that's as good as it's going to get. Okay, that's it. That's as good as it's going to get. Take my handy dandy highlighter and we'll color it green. I'm going to make it max. I'm going to make it as big as I can so I don't have to color. Well, that's not very big, but Okay, somebody tell me what that green means. Starts with an N. Normal. Appreciate y'all's interaction. Makes class go by a whole lot faster. Okay, and our red is our outlier. And our blue is unusual. So by the empirical rule, our outliers are at 0.6487 and 1.0289. But our interquartile range may be a little bit different. Okay? So let's do our interquartile range. Our 5-number summary. I'm going to have to close this down. All right, so our 5-number summary, min first, wait a minute, min equals first equals second equals third equals and max. And the max is equal to the big number down at the bottom. And the min is equal to the small number at the top. The second is equal to our median, which we'll color yellow. And then our first quartile, well, our blue dot, don't forget that blue dot. Let me go down. Our blue dot that I told you to remember is, hold on a second, right there. Our blue dot is between those two numbers. So that means 25 numbers are above and 29 are what? Or 25 are below. So 25 is an odd number. So that means I've got to pick 12 above. Let's see. 25 is an odd number. So I just hit 12 down, 12 up, and pick the middle. So 25 above, I got to pick the 13th number. 13th number. Boop, there it is. Color that blue. That goes right here. Oops, sorry. It's supposed to be. Oh man, about ready to quit. All right. And now the third number is going to be 12 up from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Boom. There it is. So we'll color that one some. Okay. Why didn't it? Okay, for some reason, it's not highlighting. Okay, I don't understand. So 38.86. Okay, I can't move anything. What's going on? Okay, guys, I can't move. Something's wrong with my mouse now. Now I can't type anything in. What the heck's the matter? Equals. Okay, it's like something is 0.38. Okay, I can't do anything. What's up? That's working. All right, so that's working. So let me go back to the spreadsheet now. My spreadsheet just quit working. Equals. Equals. Can't hit anything. It's like my keyboard is dead. Great. Okay, well. Okay, so I'll switch to this. So let me make this smaller. So we know I need you to write down, let's go back down to the bottom. I can't go up or down. I can't. It's like the Excel spreadsheet has just quit working. All right, 1, 2, I can't even use my up and down keys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 0.86. So I need to write down 0.86 for the third quartile. 0.86. I can't write it down. I can't type anything in. So 0.86 is our third quartile. 0.71, I'm writing everything down. Hold on. 0.71, 0.79, 0.84, and 0.99. Okay, so I'm switching to plan B here. And there's our min, there's our max, there's our second quartile, our first quartile, and our third quartile. So if we want to find our interquartile range for this problem, that's going to equal 0.86 minus 0.79. And 0.86, 79 cents from 86 cents is 7 cents, right? So 0.07. Y'all check me. I believe if you add 7 cents to 79 cents, you're going to get 86 cents. Okay, so that's the interquartile range. Our lower is equal to 0.79 minus 1.5 times 0.07. And our upper is going to be 0.86 plus 1.5 times 0.07. So let's take our handy dandy calculator out. And let's do the top one. That's going to be 0.07.
You have a work email.
0.07 times 1.5 plus 0.79. I'm sorry, that's minus. So 0.79 minus 0.105. 0.79 minus 0.105. 0.685. 0.685. So that's the lower bound. Hold on. And the upper bound is going to be 0.86 plus parentheses 1.5 times 0.07 close parentheses, enter, 0.965. So without the empirical rule, anything above below 0.685 and above 0.965, sorry about that light shining in. Now let's look at the empirical rule. Let me make this a little bit smaller. Our empirical rule said 0.65 and they got 0.685. Okay, our upper bound on an empirical rule is 1.02 and this is 0.965. So you still see that they're very close, but one, it's different philosophies. Okay, the interquartile range is 3 formulas you use to find this number and this number. And let's see if it works now. Equals, yeah, something just went dead on my Excel spreadsheet. I don't know what. Probably the Russians are in my computer. They're going to try to change my grocery list. Okay, guys, I think we just did 2 homework questions, but how many test questions did we cover? Probably 10. Okay, because we just did, let's see if well, I got to take the roll before y'all start having convulsions. So let me take the roll right quick. Let's see, I had it already pulled up. There it is. And let me see. That's 12024. That's the wrong class. Yes, Miss Cameron, did you have a question?
Oh, no.
Okay, 1202429. Most of y'all are here because I got 20 and there's 20 on the roll, so I just got to find out who's not here. There's 19, so I think the only person not here. Okay, Miss Dennis did. Miss Dennis, glad you could make it. Miss Dennis, is your student, is your son or daughter, are they virtual like mine, or they actually went to school, or what?
My son, I brought my son to school, but he couldn't get in, so he's back home.
Oh, okay. Where does he go to school?
He was supposed to go to Robert Anderson as well, but I switched him over to McKent's because it was closer for work for me.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Well, my son goes to Robert Anderson also, but he's doing virtual. Since I'm doing virtual, I said he could do virtual too. So anyway, that's good. I'm glad you at least got to, be in class. So we've got 19. So let me find out who's not here. I'm going down the enrollment on the side of so Broom, Cameron Coyne, Dennis King Lee. Oh, I got to turn off the presentation, sorry. And turn off the recorder also.